I just watched a video called I Just Built My Dream Supercar Workshop by Matt Armstrong, which is all about supercars and souping them up. And then immediately after, I watched something about a car called the Rodin F0, which is just a truly astonishing project down in New Zealand about building a supercar that goes faster than Formula One cars. But what you might be thinking is, what's that got to do with this shed and your brain? Well, you may have guessed that there's going to be an analogy between tuning up a supercar and tuning up your brain, especially if you've got like mental fog, you can't focus very well, you need more productivity. I'll get into this in a moment. But the garden shed thing is because most people, they've got basically multi-million pound or multi-million dollar brains. You may not realize it, but you have got an amazing piece of kit here in your brain. But most people are trying to supercharge and look after their brain in the cars in garden shed conditions, which is fine if you're basically working on some bicycles, but not if you're really trying to be as productive and as focused and get as much done as you want to do. So the problem is basically, most people just are not tuning up their brains properly because they don't know how. And so there's a number of different things I thought about. So I thought, well, first of all, you've got the actual brain itself, the engine of your entire system. You need to work on getting the right fuel into it. You've got to build it up in the right ways. And there are 3 things you've got to really do and look at with each of these components. Then you've got to fuel the brain. So first of all, you've got to build it. Then you've got to fuel it. You've got to have the right pit stops. You've got to have strategic refueling, just like when you're doing a Formula One race. And it's not just about the fuel in the way you think about it. It's also about philosophical pit stops. For those of you that notice my Athenian owl. And then what you've got is you've also got to test everything once you've actually put everything into place. There's the electronics as well, which is like the operating system as well. You've got to do all these different resets. Then you've got to test, see what the capacity of your engine, what's doing, and then you take it into the mental mechanic diagnostics as well. So you take it into the diagnostic center, you see what needs tuning, and you see what actually needs to be improved. And this relates really well to the 5-week process that I use with people who are basically, well, the biggest problem is the fact that they tend to not have enough time. So they're working past 5 all the time, they're working at weekends. And so the first thing is, okay, what we've got to do, and that's a sign that your whole system is misfiring, that your engine's overrunning, and you're having to do weekend repairs all of the time because you're just always running behind. So first of all, you do a neural reset. You basically clear away debris and you get new operating systems put in. And then you go into the heroic advantage phase, where you put in systems and protocols and you actually clear even more clutter out of your system, so you can actually start finding basically an extra work day a week. And we can do this very quickly. Do enough so that you can increase your productivity 20%, which is equivalent of adding a workday. And that's just if you do one thing out of the whole system. And then you basically have the success systems you put in place, so you get never-ending, repeated programmed success, basically. So you keep going in the right direction. So if this sounds of interest to you, then of course reach out, because just one thing in this system has been proven in 30 days. This is a 5-week process, but in 30 days, just one thing has been shown to increase productivity, increase energy, and increase connection with others. So if you're running a small business, if you're a CEO, also this works really well, because this is another big thing, is the same things that work for executives to help their executive brains work better, works for ADHD to help their ADHD brains work better. And also a lot of executives and business owners are ADHD, because ADHD is actually a superpower as well. So let's enhance your superpower. Reach out if you want to know more. I'd be interested just to talk to you and talk through the system that I use. And it's not just what I use, it's what thousands of other coaches on the planet are already using as well. Be well, live long.